Hello, everyone. My name is Joseph Davis, and this is my speech on nuclear energy and how it can benefit to reduce global warming. A lot of times in the news, you'll hear about global warming and things like the Green New Deal and ice caps melting. And a lot of times, people want to suggest that we use clean energy like solar and wind. But however, nuclear energy might be a better source. Nuclear energy has a high energy output and a very low emission output. And because of this, it could be used to reduce global warming and should be looked into if we really want to solve the issues at hand. Wind power is very hard to control and it's impossible to stop. And solar power needs the sun to be effective. So these very clean power sources aren't as efficient and sometimes as effective as nuclear energy would be. But in places where they work well, like Arizona or places where it's very windy for wind turbines, I feel like they should be used because it makes sense. But when it doesn't make sense, nuclear energy can run on the same grid and is a similar type of energy to them, so it can be used together to fill in the gaps. The energy output of nuclear radiation is very high, and it is highly efficient power source. It has a very high density of power, and this means that the usable energy has a very high space per unit, making it also relatively low in cost. According to the Nuclear Energy Institute, nuclear power plants also run at an industry-wide average of 92% of their capacity, generating electricity at a much more efficient rate than other power sources, these sources being solar, wind, and even coal. This means that the energy will be compact and efficient, and it will change or shift. If we change or shift to a nuclear-based energy system, it will also lower consumer bills. Nuclear energy also emits almost no emissions. It is similar to the emissions of solar and wind, but is more controllable and efficient. According to the NEI, no other source, renewable or otherwise, contributes as much to meeting the U.S. energy demand without emissions as nuclear. Every year, nuclear electricity saves our atmosphere from more than 528 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions. That would otherwise come from fossil fuels. That's the same as taking 111 million passenger vehicles in the United States off the road. Nuclear energy has the potential to help solve some of the problems the U.S. has with energy. The use of nuclear energy has already prevents pollution more than any other energy source, and I think that we need to use it more because it's working. And I feel a lot of times in the industry, it's a huge problem because of blinding bias. It's like a wedge issue. Nuclear power plants, and I know that nuclear power plants shouldn't be in places like California where there are fault lines. But if it makes sense, it should be used. And I think we need to look at the bigger picture. Thank you.